Various Georgia businesses that were forced to close during the coronavirus pandemic reopened Friday. This includes gyms, tattoo parlors, hair and nail salons, massage parlors, and more. Religious services are expected to resume over the weekend, while restaurants and theaters are going to open on Monday. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp announced the decision to reopen state businesses earlier this week. President Trump and some state lawmakers say that they disagree with the governor's decision. Savannah Mayor Van Johnson is among those who disagree, and he joins me now to discuss. Mayor Johnson, thank you for being with us. First of all, just tell us why you disagree with Governor Kemp's decision to reopen. Clearly, the economy there in Georgia is struggling.
But the fact of the matter is, and thank you for the opportunity, is that the governor's decision does not follow the science. In Savannah, we've tried to keep the faith but follow the science. We have not had 14 days of plateaued infections, and we are not doing expanded testing. So therefore, according to the White House's own guidelines, we have not checked the boxes to start reopening our state at this time.
So were you surprised, actually, to hear President Trump say that he, too, was unhappy with Governor Kemp, a Trump supporter?
I was absolutely floored. I mean, what a way to get thrown under the bus. I wasn't expecting it, but certainly it was important to us that obviously that people were hearing what we had to say. And again, we were listening to the national narratives all along as well.
And there are over 21,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in your state. Thursday saw nearly 800 new cases alone. As you mentioned, these don't meet the requirements set forth by the White House in order to reopen. So do you think that these numbers are likely going to get worse with businesses now increasingly up and running in Georgia?
Savannah is a place of over 15 million visitors a year. We have 150,000 people who live here. They're wonderful people. They're very social. They cannot wait to get back to some sense of normalcy. And so, of course, that brings on a lack of social distancing. I think it's bad. I think it creates the situation, the conditions by which enhanced infections can occur.
I heard you say that you have not spoken with Governor Kemp since early this year, really before this crisis started. As mayor of Savannah, Georgia, this seemed incomprehensible to me. Have you tried to reach out? Has the governor not been talking to mayors who are Democrats? Is this political?
I don't know. I've spoken with mayors from across the state who have not heard from the governor either. I sent the governor a letter early on in this crisis. As a matter of fact, today I called as well, just to try to reach out again. And I was told that they'll take it under advisement. So we're waiting.
Well, let's hope that politics can get set aside for the good of all Georgians. This is actually the first day that Georgia businesses have been allowed to open in weeks. Looking at your city there, has there been a lot of action on this first day of reopening?
I think that people are somewhat confused. There's some trepidation about opening and how to open safely. So we have not seen a lot of movement. Some businesses are opening, and we're fortunate that the major faith leaders from the African Methodist Episcopal Church, the Catholic Diocese of Georgia, and the Episcopal Church all have said that they're not having worship services in any of their churches this weekend. And I've heard from a lot of Savannah's finest beauty professionals and restaurants that say that they're going to follow the science and they're just going to wait a little while longer.
That's very interesting to hear those religious leaders and those businesses deciding, even if they are given the go-ahead by the governor, that they're going to still follow the requirements set forth by the White House and your recommendations instead. So I'm wondering, Mayor Johnson, what is your plan for the city? Are you able to defy the governor's directive? Do you have local jurisdiction to say Savannah needs to really stay closed during the course of this pandemic until we meet those benchmarks laid forth by the health experts coming from the White House?
Well, the interesting thing about it is that we're currently under an emergency order by the governor that expires on April the 30th. However, we're opening businesses on April 24th and April 27th. The governor has specifically set forth in his order that local municipalities cannot create or set orders that are more restrictive than his order. So he's made it very clear that we're not to interfere with his order. We are appealing to the common sense of Savannahans. We're asking them to keep the faith, but follow the signs. We're asking for them to stay closed if they can. If they cannot, if they feel like they absolutely have to open, then we're asking for them to have a plan and do it in a safe manner.
Well, the entire country is looking forward to reopening, but we're also looking forward to doing so in a healthy way. So the entire eyes of the nation are on your state and on you. So Mayor Van Johnson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and we invite you to come visit Savannah when it's safe to do so.
I will take you up on that.
Thank you.